Hey everybody. Last chapter or last section of the chapter here, economic theories. I'm going to hit on some different theories on economics and talk about some systems of economics that some countries can use or have used in the past. All right. So the first thing first is what is the rule of economic systems and what is the definition of economics? And we're going to get into this in the second 9 weeks as well. So this is just kind of an intro to how economies use economics, but the study of human efforts to satisfy seemingly unlimited wants through the use of limited resources. So when you have limited resources, okay, how are you going to satisfy your wants? All right, and every country has to do it. They have to decide what to purchase and what not to purchase. That's going to be on your exam. Make sure you know that. This is also going to be on your exam. Three major decisions every economic system must make, whether it's a communist system, a mixed market system, a capitalistic system, socialist system. What and how much should be produced, how goods and services should be produced, and who gets the goods and services that are produced. Are the people going to get it? Is the government going to get it? Is the military going to get it? All right. Um, and those are the three major decisions all economic systems must make. So keep that in mind and keep this um, close to you at this point in time. So this and these three will be on your exam. So know that. Capitalism. This is the first form of economic system that we're going to go over. And capitalism is a free enterprise. It's an economic system providing free choice and individual incentive for workers, investors, consumers, and business enterprises. Um, Pre 1929, United States of America was pure capitalistic um, economic system. Why? Because the government basically kept their hands out of everything, and everybody had the freedom to do what they pleased. So basically, it was a dog eat dog world. If I started a bike shop and somebody else started a bike shop, basically we would make bikes, and whoever's bike shop was better, the people would go to that bike shop, and the other person would fail and become poor and couldn't feed his family, so on and so forth. So you saw literally the government wasn't held. There's no such thing as welfare pre 1929. All right, not until 1933 that FDR created the welfare system and created this system to bail people out of situations like that. So um, yeah, pure capitalistic society, a winner and a pure loser. All right, private ownership, five main characteristics: private ownership and control of property and economic resources. Number two, a free enterprise. All right, you're able to freely choose what you want to buy and what you want to sell. Number three, competition among businesses. It makes people better. Okay, makes businesses better. If you're competing, you're going to try to make the best product you can. Therefore, people will come and buy your product. Therefore, you can get rich. Number four, freedom of choice. You have the choice to be able to choose what you want to do. And five, possibility of profits. What happened late 1800s, early 1900s, people started cornering the market, these big business players. And you guys probably remember learning about that from U.S. History 1, maybe a little bit in U.S. History 2. Rockefeller, Carnegie, these guys would corner the markets, buy everything through horizontal and vertical integration. All right, and they just basically enslaved the majority of the people of the United States of America. They were able to set prices on how much they were going to pay them. There was no government intervention on a price ceiling or price floor. They were able to charge what they wanted for their product, and they could pay the people, and they paid them dirt price wages, and these people were abused, and people were working 24-hour shifts, dying on the job in Carnegie's plants and different things along those lines until unions started to be formed. So capitalism, this is kind of the beginning of what happened in America. Okay, where did capitalism come from? A guy by the name of Adam Smith, as you can see here. Let me move my screen. That's what he looks like. A guy by the name of Adam Smith created and wrote a book called The Wealth of Nations, which explained what capitalism was. And he, in his book, talks about the free market, that buyers and sellers were free to make unlimited economic decisions in the marketplace. You can spend your money on whatever you want. All right. And he wrote something known as The Wealth of Nations. And like I already said that, and he came to the basic idea of a laissez-faire society, and this is on your test, laissez-faire, which means the government to let it alone. Let the people choose what's going to be worth something and what's not going to be worth something. Okay? So If there's a product that people really want, that could drive the price up. The United States of America currently has what we call a mixed market economy. We have forms of capitalism, a little bit of capitalism, we have a little bit of socialism, and it's called a mixed market because we have both of those things. A mixed market economy is combined with and supported by government decisions in the marketplace. So the government's going to control maybe the price of gasoline, price of oil, barrel of oil coming in and going out. They're going to try to control different prices of things, try to kind of create an equilibrium in the market. Capitalism and socialism mixed. Economies ranging from the United States, Cuba use mixed market economics. So we have a combination. So you know what capitalism is, but we haven't gotten into socialism. So let's take a look at socialism. So what is socialism? You've been hearing some candidates running for president, this word popping up. And anytime this word pops up, everybody freaks out and they think of Benito Mussolini and Italy and the socialist fascist society. But when we talk about socialism, we're literally just talking about a system of government. So government owns the basic means of production. It determines the use of resources, distributes products and wages, and provides social services such as education, healthcare, and welfare. And this is interesting. Social services, education, healthcare, welfare, these things are very socialistic ideas. When you come to school, it's a socialist idea. All right, the government, anything the government provides for the people is known as socialism, socializing the economy. Okay. The difference between socialism and communism, a command economy communism, is that in socialism there's still going to be a little bit of private incentive. So the government's going to own everything, and you're going to work for the government. You're going to give government just about all of your wages, but at the end you might be able to make a little bit of money at the end. Okay. So what are some three main goals of socialism? The distribution of wealth and economic opportunity equally among people. So if you think about that, kind of sounds like we have an equal opportunity because we're all equally educated, or so we like to think we are, at the high school and elementary and middle school levels. Number two, society's control through its government of all major decisions about production, and public ownership of most land, which we do, factories and other means of production. Those are the three main goals of socialism. Democratic socialism, this is what Bernie Sanders claimed to be. He was a democratic socialist. The people have basic human rights and have some control over government officials through free elections in a multi-party system. Meaning when you think of democratic, you think of voting for the people that are going to represent you, all right, having different political parties, kind of from the ground up. But socializing the economy means everybody's going to socially get the same benefits. You guys understand that? No matter if you're rich or you're poor, they're going to try to bring the rich down. They're going to try to bring the poor up and create a large middle-class society. Socialism. The people have basic human rights and have some control over government officials through free election and multi-party system. Countries that operate under this, you guys can take a look at this. Go back through your PowerPoints: Great Britain, Tanzania, Denmark, Norway, Sweden. All right. Now, last but not least, communism. Now, when you think of communism, everybody thinks of Adolf Hitler. Okay. Now, the Adolf Hitler society would be a command economy communism. Get that straight. In fact, Adolf Hitler hated what he called the Marxists. He hated Marxists. And the reason why he hated them, and he hated what he called Marxism, and part of the book burning was he burned the majority of Karl Marx's books. So he liked the command economy communism. But if we're talking about the Karl Marxonian communism, we're talking here, you can see Karl Marx down here, and the hammer and sickle here for Russia. Communism, one class, property belongs to everyone, and there would be no need for a government. Literally, Karl Marx believed that this communist society, and he wrote about it in his book, Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital, that there would be this pure utopian society where there would be no need for a police force and there would be no crime. Sounds kind of ridiculous, doesn't it? But that's kind of what he believed, that everybody would work for the benefit of each other and everybody would divvy up the earnings equally. Therefore, why would you steal from anybody? Because everybody would get the same, and everything would be the same, and it would be this pure utopian society. All right. And when Karl Marx was coming up in the late 1800s, and when he lived, he started to see this happening all over the world of this abuse between the bourgeoisie class and the proletariats. Okay. We can look at it in America between the capitalistic businesses and the workers in the late 1800s, all right, with the Carnegies and Rockefellers. He believed that in capitalist nations, the population is divided into two groups. Like I said, number one, the bourgeoisie. Make sure you know this for your exam. The bourgeoisie were the big business owners. Think of the bourgeoisie, the big business owners. It kind of sounds like a rich word, doesn't it? So when we think of bourgeoisie, you think of the business owners, the rich business owners that own everything. All right. And basically what Marx saw is that they abuse the workers. He said the workers are the ones that are working for this. They should be the ones, they're the ones who are producing it. They should be the ones that are making all the money that they should be getting. They should be reaping the benefits. And he said the bourgeoisie basically discriminates against the proletariat class. They abuse them. Okay. During this time, children would be working. All right. They'd be sending them in the coal mines, crawling in the coal mines because they were smaller. Okay. When they're 5, 6 years old, and they put the coal barrels on their, pull them through the coal mines. Just terrible. But we have the bourgeoisie abusing the proletariats, the workers during this time. And that's why when he came up with the idea of communism, that everybody should be treated equal. And Hitler hated this idea because many of the people within the class during this time of the Jewish faith had this system of kind of this Marxonian system where they would help each other out constantly. And Hitler hated that because they weren't helping his government out, the Germans at the time. And he looked really down upon that. So he believed in a command economy, a communist command economy, meaning the government planners decide how much to produce, those three questions, what to produce and how to distribute the goods. And he put all the money towards the military and he hid it and he made the economy look good, right? So we have command economy communism. We have Karl Marxonian communism, pure communism. When I say pure communism, I'm talking about the Karl Marxonian communism. When I talk about a command economy, think of a dictator planning where everything's going to go. Okay? Going back, democratic socialism. All right? Socializing everything, while still allowing to have some of that ownership of land, small private incentives at the end. Okay? But you're giving a majority of your paycheck to the government, 3/4 of it to the government, and you're able to choose who's going to represent you. Everybody's getting the same. Large middle class when it comes to socialism. Okay, social services for everybody. Everything's going to be given. People are going to be working. Okay, but the capitalism part's going to be taken out. So people aren't going to get real rich. All right, when it comes to socialism, there's going to be kind of this just large middle class. You might be on the upper end of the middle class or the lower end, but everybody's going to be in this middle class. And the government's going to take from the rich and give to the poor and bring people right into the middle. Okay, socialism and the three ideals of that. Just kind of reviewing, going back up. Mixed market economy, this is what the United States has. We have a form of capitalism in here. There's still people that get rich, but socialist ideas, right? Education, so on and so forth. This is where that whole tax bracket thing comes in when it comes to a social consensus. Should we be taking more from the rich and giving to the people on the bottom? Or should everybody be charged the same? If you think everybody should be charged the same, like Donald Trump, he rearranged the tax brackets so people would be able to not pay as much tax. Okay, so on and so forth, and likewise. Okay, so that's a different thing for you to decide on how you want to believe. Don't forget about Adam Smith. He wrote Wealth of Nations. Capitalism, pure capitalism society. There's going to be a winner and a loser. Competition. All right, you work hard. You do what you have to do. Usually, it's going to be to your benefit. Okay, but if your business, even if you work hard, fails, you fail no matter what. What are the three major decisions? What is economics? All right, guys, that's it for Chapter 1, Section 4. Hope you enjoyed my speech today. Make sure you study for your exam. Okay, it's going to be coming up here pretty soon. All right. See you later. See you guys.